snacking.
What's up YouTube? This is your boy. Today we'll be talking about how to pass the JPJ test. The first obstacle is the slope. We call it the TT in Malaysia. So it's basically just a small line of slope where you have to maintain your balance on top of that slope for more than 7 seconds, I would say. That is the hardest part to pass. For lower CC, people who take the B2 license, when they ride on a lower CC, a 150cc or 125, the TT is not hard to pass. But when you are riding on a 650, it's really hard to hit more than 7 seconds on that short slope. If you fall off, it's okay. I fall off too many times. And like I said, in order to pass that, you will need to know some people inside. It doesn't mean you can just rush all the way and pass. No, you still got to put up a good act. And when you have to put up the good act, just let me tell you, most people fall off the TT, the slope, is because they are too slow from the start. So when you go up the slope, you have to make sure you full blast. Not full blast as in, you have to twist the throttle a bit. Your main concern should be the first half of the slope. What do? You just rush up, and only you start to think of the back half of the slope. When you're on top, you have to use your feet brake, which is on the right side. The feet brake, just use that to tap lightly on the rear brake. And then once you reach to the part where you're going down, you have to tap even more to buy yourself more time. Their main rule is you have to be on top of the slope for 7 seconds or more. I was on top of the slope at 6.85 seconds, and they failed me. The trick to pass that slope is you actually have to be on a lot of speed in order to pass that. If you do the slope in 4 to 5 seconds, you won't fall off the TT. But if you try to do more, you will fall off the TT. So, get to know some people there. Once you pass that level, everything else will be pretty easy. The next thing you got to do is the cone. So you have 5 cones stacked in front of you, and you have to go like a snake, zigzag the cone. So the trick there is to not touch the clutch. Once you press the clutch, you're on a lower speed, and that's where you tend to fall off and put your leg on the ground, and that's when you fail. Because I have tried some attempts on the cone, and let me just tell you that every time I try to press the clutch, my feet will touch the ground. Later I will talk about the body position plays a role in all these zigzag cones, and also there's a part where you have to pass after the roundabout. Okay, after the cone, after the TT, after the cone, you have the Ebrake. The Ebrake, I guess everyone can pass that easily. The Ebrake is not hard. Just rush. Just go up to second gear and just slam the rear brake. The feet brake, just slam it hard. When they see your tire screech on the road, it means like you're in a drifting position, you screech, the tire lock and you screech, they will let you pass already. So just go full speed until second gear. Probably you'll be about 30 kilometers to 40 kilometers per hour, and then you just slam on the rear brakes. Next one is the bumps. You will have a lot of tiny bumps. Trick here is also to not touch the clutch. Just release the clutch and let it go. JPJ plays a lot of the tests, the obstacle tests. The key trick is to just not touch the clutch. It's just that simple. And then once you go to the bumps, you will need to do the roundabout, and then you need to do like a U-turn. And after that you'll be heading to the next roundabout where you have to do 1.5 circle. One I will explain after I done my job. I have finished my work, and yeah, I'm going to continue the topic just now that I said. Okay, the roundabout is pretty easy also, I would say. The hard part is on the starting part and the last part, so don't screw it up. The first part, you have to know someone inside to let them pass you below 7 seconds. They can kind of give you a protective shield on the first part. So after that, impossible. You knock on the cones, you fail the e-braking, and they still pass you. It's impossible. They can just kind of give you the protection on the first part. The last part also, they can't really give you protection, but let me tell you, the officers on the day itself, when you take the legit test, the officers only care about the first part, which is the TT. After that, they don't really, because the TT is in front of them, and then the last part is behind them. They don't turn their head to see, hey, is this fella done with? No, they just focus on the front. Okay, when you come to the last part, the number one rule in JPJ test for B-Full license is to not doubt the clutch. Just try your best not to touch the clutch. The speed is just nice if you release the clutch. So when it comes to the narrow U-turn, you have to understand the two principles doing a turn, which is your body position. It's always never the bike's fault, remember, it's always how you ride it. Number one, if let's say I'm turning to the left, and then of course most people will usually lean in. They will do this, they will lean in. You usually do this technique when you're traveling really fast and the turn is not as sharp. The reason for this is, if let's say I'm making a left turn, so when I turn left, you see my bike position, it's still pretty upright, but I'm already leaning in. I'm going to take a left turn now. So you see, when I lean in, the bike is pretty upright. So this gives you more grips on the tire, so that you don't finish using your lean angle on the tires, okay? But what if you want to do a really narrow turn? When it comes to low speed corners, when you want to do a U-turn, technique number 2 is you lean out. So pretty much you are pushing the bike down. If let's say I'm doing a left turn now, so I do this. I'm turning left, but I'm pushing the bike down. So this is how you do like slow speed maneuvers compared to the lean in just now. So you lean out and you turn. Pretty much in the JPJ there, you want to use the lean out in every obstacles, like the cone, the zigzag. You also want to lean out. You don't want to lean in. And when it comes to the last part, which is the U-turn, you want to lean out also, not lean in, so that you don't tip over and your feet touch the ground. Now let me show you the lean out technique. Okay, so now I'm going to make a right turn, but I don't want to lean in, I want to lean out. Look, I'm doing a right turn and I'm leaning out. You want to push the bike down, which gives you more control. I've seen many people actually fail the last part because it's like literally it's a super sharp U-turn, and when you pass the U-turn, your tires are almost touching the walls that they have there, the small little walls. But like I said, do not doubt the clutch, do not doubt the bike. It's all about the technique. I'm going to get some gas now, and I will show you how you do the lean out technique and doing a U-turn. So look, if let's say I want to do a U-turn here, okay, I'm in first gear, I want to do a U-turn. If I lean in, you see, the turn is wide compared to if I lean out. Look, when I lean out, You look at the difference of the turn. Okay, let me show you one more time. Let's say I'm doing this turn and I lean out. You see how sharp is the turn? And if I lean in to try to turn here, if I lean in, you see, I'm trying my best to, you see how wide is the turn? When you're on a 650, it's done heavy. And if you don't master the body position of how to turn, you won't be able to pass the last part. In case you don't know where to fill up the gas on your bike, sport bike or whatever. So let me show you. If you don't do this, if you don't put your leg down and stable the bike upright, you won't be able to fill the gas up to the maximum point, because the bike is tilted over, and when you fill up the petrol, it won't fill up to the max. So what you want to do is, you kind of want to park close to this the pump here, and then you want to balance your bike. Make sure that it's upright. This is the fuel cap. You open the cap, take your key, insert it. Oh, you open the cap, right? You want to kind of press down this part so that it's easier for you to open. And yeah, this is how you fill the gas. And remember the nozzle, you don't put in everything, you just put in the tip of it. Because if you put in everything, yeah, you won't get to fill the gas full. So you see the nozzle is pretty much just it went in this deep only. It's pretty much up to the top. You just put the nozzle in a little bit, press the top part, lock it, and yeah, there you go. It's only 13 ringgit during this MCO period, as the petrol price drop. 13 ringgit will last me almost 2 weeks, depending on where I ride. If I just ride to work and back home, yeah, it'll probably last me about close to 2 weeks, 1.5 weeks actually. What about the cone? How do you practice for the cone? So you see the road here, you have all these dotted lines, right? The cones are pretty much the same, just that you are doing it in a lower speed. So how you want to practice is, at your housing area, you have all these dotted lines, just zigzag across it, and that's how I practice for it, and it works well. For the TT, the first part, the slope, 50% luck, 50% skills. I'm talking about a B full license, which is you're on a 650 bike, but for a lower than a 250cc bike, it's darn easy to pass that. On a 650 bike, you have to remember, when you release the clutch, you're already going pretty much almost about 20 km/h. It's pretty darn hard to slow speed past the slope. And I wouldn't say it's not 100% you can't, purely based on skill. I'm just trying to help people save some money, you know. Per session at a JPJ there, just to practice a day, it's 100 ringgit. And god damn, if you need like 10 sessions, you are not the only one going to practice and taking the test there. And they have limited 650 bikes. You have to understand, maybe today you practice and you can't go for the test tomorrow. Today you practice, probably you take the test after 2 weeks, 3 weeks, depending on how lucky you are. I don't recommend people to zero knowledge, you never ride a bike before and just go take the test, learn there, take the test there, only you take the bike. No, you waste them a lot of money. Usually what will happen there is, today you get to practice. Usually if you get to practice on a Saturday, you get to practice on a Sunday or so. And then after that, they might have a gap of 1 to 2 weeks time. So after 2 weeks, you will go and practice again. That time you will probably, it doesn't matter how many times you can practice over there. Saturday, Sunday, you can turn that place, turn 100 times. And after 2 weeks, you go there, you're fresh again. You totally forgotten how to do it, what's the skill. So my opinion is, you get a bike and then you practice at home. So first of all, TT, if you get to find a slope at your house, sure, go ahead, practice on it. because you can't find the exact, like, look, I have this slope here, but it's so wide. And the JPJ is like something like that. So how you want to practice? You can't practice on it. So the TT is really hard, but if you get to find it, you get to custom DIY yourself, yeah, good for you. But for me, I really just lose hope on the TT and I just focus on other parts. How do you practice for the cone part? That is one part also. For the cone part, now we have dotted lines, okay? You probably want to be on the second gear. So you kind of want to do this. You see? You want to do this. You practice like that until you get to not hit the white lines, the dotted lines. And then you pretty much can pass the cone part already. I want to thank you guys for watching this video and I hope it helps you in a way. So if you like the video, just drop a like, and I'm open up to opinions. You can even comment on the video. And I'll see you guys on the next one.